Last summer, one of the worst things that a man could possibly experience in this short, beautiful life happened to me. Can you guess what it is? I'll give you a hint. It involves bleeding out of your ass for a whole week straight. Oh, you guessed it. I'm talking about anal fissures. Long story short, an anal fissure is a tear in your ass. Very fun. I'm gonna first tell you a little story time about how I got my first anal fissure, and then I'm gonna tell you what I did to heal from it. This is your warning that this video is going to be explicitly gross, and I'm not gonna leave out any details because I feel like this would help a lot of people. Before I start, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and check out my first ever course on bottoming. I'll put the link below. Alright, so the day I got my very first anal fissure, I honestly remember it clear as day. I was getting ready to bottom for Ben, you know, the hottest man alive. Typical classic weekly routine. This was last summer in August, by the way. We made plans, I had some dinner, and then I went to the bathroom to poop and get ready. The poop felt a little different this day. I poop twice a day, by the way. So the poop that I had in the morning, 8 hours before I was getting ready, I remember it being a little bit hard and just hard to come out. And it was the same as this poop at 6 p.m. when I was getting ready. You know those poops where you sit down and you spend 30 minutes and nothing's coming out, or the poop that comes out in little pebbles, and I'm like, wait, I need to go, but it's not coming out. I was getting really freaking annoyed that it was taking so long, so I kind of just gave up and I was like, you know what, I have to go, so I'm gonna just clean up right now. So then I got my enema bulb and I literally just stuck it in my ass. I don't even think I put lube or anything on the tip, which is insanity. Please always put lube on the tip of your bulb. I think back then I was always on the go, quick cleaning, and I just didn't care if I put lube on the tip, or if I didn't poop that much, or if I didn't eat enough fiber. I just didn't care back then, which is horrible. Please just always put lube on anything that's going up your ass, okay? Anyway, so if I'm remembering correctly, there was still poop in my hole because I was pooping and then it just cut off in the middle, so there was still poop in the hole. And I think I literally just pushed the unlubed enema tip inside of my hole, through the poop. If this was my hole and there was hard poop on it, I think I literally got my enema tip and just poked through it. And it felt weird, but I think I still mindlessly just squirted water into my ass anyway, quickly and not gently at all, which pushed the hard poop further in my ass, and it hurt, but I didn't think much of it because I was cleaning and I was getting ready, and I was like, you know what, it just feels uncomfortable, I'm gonna keep going. I made it to 3 rounds of cleaning, and at that point my ass was so uncomfortable and in pain that I had to stop altogether. And that was when I started feeling anxious about having sex, because I was like, shit, now my ass hurts. But I kind of just put off that anxiety and I didn't tell him, because I felt at the time, if I had told him that I couldn't have sex, he wouldn't want to hang out with me, just because this was mid 2020 and he had a boyfriend back then. And honestly, our relationship is so sexual that I feel it'd be weird if we just hung out without sex, back then, especially because we weren't going out, we were just hanging out to have sex. So I took a shower and drove over to Ben's place. When I sat down on his couch, I was like, hey, so I gotta tell you something. And he was like, what? And I was like, well, I was cleaning my ass earlier and it started hurting, so I don't know if we can have sex tonight, but I'm down to try still. And he was like, what the hell? I thought he was gonna get mad at me, but he actually smiled and he was like, I'm honestly impressed with you, because you kept this from me the entire day because you knew that I'd react weirdly, but you kept it from me anyway, and I'm proud of you. You're starting to get manipulative. And I was like, oh, thanks. Even though sex is a big part of our relationship and I felt I couldn't have sex that day, I still found a way to weasel my way into his apartment back when he had a boyfriend. I deserve a brownie, okay? But remember when I said that I was still down to try to bang? Yeah, so we did that after foreplay and everything, and I was turned on. But when he stuck it in on this particular night, I literally squealed like a pig, and the pain was almost as bad as my first time. By the way, if you want a story time on my first time trying to have sex, click the link for my bottoming course below, because I talk about it on there. This time it felt like he literally tore apart my ass. We didn't do it for too long, but it was enough to get me to bleed, because the next morning I woke up and I went to the bathroom to poop, and when I tried to poop, oh my god, it was so, I couldn't even push it out normally. It was so painful to poop, but I still had to do it. So I did, but blood came with every single poop that came down. And when I wiped my ass, the toilet paper was redder than the flags that I saw throughout my relationship with Ben. Just kidding. We're good now, okay? But anyway, I couldn't poop properly for the next 2 days. I was literally miserable because I pooped twice a day. I think I literally avoided poop. No, I think I literally avoided food so that I wouldn't need to poop. Can you imagine like bleeding every single time you poop and then like bleeding when you wipe your ass? It was just not a good time for me. I went to the doctors after the 2 days, and I had like a new doctor that I had never met before because I never had anal problems. He asked me a lot of questions about my diet and my fiber intake, and honestly, I didn't want him to like get the wrong idea as to why I got an anal fissure, because like I feel like he thought it was because my diet was bad, but in reality, like maybe that was a part of it, but it was because I fucking cleaned wrong and tried to bang with the cut in my ass. So then in the middle of me talking about my fiber intake and my diet with this doctor, I was like, oh, by the way, you know, I get fucked in the ass like a couple times a week by this man. He hits it from the back, you know what I mean? And he's like this like old traditional Asian dude with like glasses, and he just like sighs. And he disapprovingly was like, oh, like I've had straight male patients that are married that like tried anal sex with a man once, and then they would like break up their families and they would just go off with the man just because they liked getting fucked in the ass from behind. And I was like, okay, and like bottoming is fucking fun, man, like you should try it. Just kidding, I didn't say that, but like I wanted to. So anyway, then he prescribed me this cream right here. He prescribed me this cream. It says HC/lidocaine/nifedipine 2.5%/1.5%/0. I basically had to finger myself with that cream twice a day after I poop, in the morning and at night. He reminded me that I had to go really deep and like find my cut and like, you know, like lather it up with the cream, which was fun. He also told me to do this trick when I'm pooping where it's like you squeeze your butthole so that like the poop has to go through a smaller hole to come out, because it like softens the poop and like makes it like thinner. The last thing he told me to do was go to CVS and get like Easy Fiber, this like fiber supplement thing. And I had to mix 3 to 5 spoonfuls of this with water and drink it like after every meal, so that all my poops would be super watery and it would be like piss instead of like hard solid chunks, to avoid pain until my ass is fully healed. So I'd say that the Easy Fiber supplement was really good for me to liquidate my poops, and it definitely did reduce a lot of the pain that I felt when I was pooping, but it still hurt a little bit, you know? The squeezing your butt thing definitely worked wonders. The only thing that didn't work in those 2 weeks was the cream. He told me that it would get fixed in like a couple weeks, and it wasn't getting fixed. And I had like a trip coming up and I was like, shit, like what do I do? So I came back in like 2 weeks and I was like, hey man, like the cream kind of sucks, like can I get a different prescription? So then on that day he prescribed me this new cream. Let me just try to focus it on here. This was the cream that he gave me the second time. I think the brand is Ascend and the name is Silver Sulfadiazine Cream, USP 1%. So this was the cream that actually worked for me. So every morning and every night after I poop, I would like finger my ass deeply with this cream with my middle finger because it's the longest, and I would go very, very deep and literally find my cut and like literally like just touch the cut with the cream. This cream definitely worked because within like 1 or 2 weeks with this cream, I started to feel better. I started to take less fiber and my poops were starting to become more solid, but it wasn't hurting as much anymore. I vividly remember 2 weeks after fingering myself with this cream, I was in Boston. So I was hanging out with my friends in Boston, and Ben was in Boston with his family, and we hadn't had sex in like 3 weeks to a month because I had a fissure. I invited him to hang out with my friends at their place. We weren't planning on having sex because of the fissure and because like we were at my friend's place in Boston, but we got horny. So then we went to the laundry room, and this was the only time in my life where like I didn't clean because it was so spontaneous and because I didn't know if I could have sex because I was just coming off an anal fissure. But my ass was fully healed and he just like fucked me. And I think honestly, in a weird way, because I was fingering myself so much in the last month with this cream twice a day, my ass like loosened up. It was like extra prep for bottoming, I guess, like fingering my ass with the cream. And also like my anal walls were healed. There was like no more cut. And so we had sex and he finished inside of me. And yeah, so that was my first time having sex after my fissure in Boston in a laundry room without cleaning at 3 in the morning. So yeah, that's pretty much how I healed my anal fissure. It was this lovely little cream. The first cream, this one, was literally ass and it cost like $100. When I was getting my second cream, I got fined $333 because I parked on a fucking bus zone because I was in a rush. Honestly guys, save money and don't spend hundreds of dollars on a doctor and a cream and a ticket. And just check out my bottoming course below to avoid pain and have just healthy, good sex. So if you currently have an anal fissure, I'm so sorry that that is the reality of your life right now, but go to the doctors, and hopefully if we have the same problem, get this cream, finger yourself with it once or twice a day after you poop. Take a lot of fiber supplements, mix about 3 to 5 spoonfuls of easy fiber with water and drink that after every meal so that your poop is watery. And also practice squeezing your ass when you poop so that it comes out thinner and smoother. And don't forget to finger yourself deeply with the cream and like really find your cut, you know. Lesson of the day is to just eat fiber so that your poop is naturally soft, and to never rush the douching process, and to maybe not have sex or try to have sex when you know that you're kind of in pain. Don't make the same mistakes I did, please. In my brand new bottoming course, there are sections on what to eat and a whole tutorial on anal douching. Check out the link below for the deets. Thank you so much for watching this lovely video. I hope you enjoyed your time with me and listening to my story of bleeding out of my ass. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. I love you guys. Take care of your ass. Stay safe out there.